Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Music Podcast, where I have the honor of having Mr. Tommy Davidson with me today. I'm so excited. Tommy rose to fame, of course, as a cast member on the groundbreaking television program In Living Color. Over the years, he has had feature roles in films like Strictly Business with Halle Berry, Spike Lee's Bamboozled, Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura. It goes on and on and on. Tommy is also an author, telling his incredible story in his 2020 autobiography, Living in Color, What's Funny About Me. There we go. He has hosted television programs, done reality shows, voiceovers, all kinds of stuff. He is a busy guy, but it doesn't stop there. He is also a musician, and that is what we're going to spend most of our time focusing on today. Tommy has a few singles out there where we can hear him sing with legends, absolute legends of the jazz genre. Tommy Davidson, thank you so much.
I like that intro. Thank you, man, so much. I worked for that intro.
You did, you
I
did,
worked, yeah.
you still are.
Mhm.
Uh,
So yeah.
well, the first thing I want to do is thank you for getting some gray hair, man.
Oh man, yes, I was determined to like keep it on there. It's kind of hard though because people, call me Benson now. But you know what I mean.
Well, you look like you've moved into your 30s now. I appreciate
Thank you. Thank you.
this split screen thing kind of sucks because you're 5 years older than I am, I think, and you look like you're 30, and I look like some science experiment.
I'll just say Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan.
It's great, man. You look fantastic. It's amazing. I Google Tommy Davidson, and all the damn pictures look the same, man. From
Mm.
86 to 2006, it doesn't matter. They all look the same.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Your story, of course,
Mhm.
every interview starts with your story, and which it should, because it's an incredible one. It's one that we can learn from. It's one that is very, very special. Puts a lot of things, positive things, into this world. Um, you were abandoned in a pile of trash, less than 2 years old. Uh, Picked up by your wonderful adopted mother, Barbara Jean Davidson, raised by her and her family during the civil rights movement. Not something that would be easy to do at that time, and to great courage. Like I say, puts wonderful things into the world, positivity, taught you your heritage and taught you to be a successful Black man, and to learn right from wrong and all of those wonderful things. Is it true? And now, just the Reader's Digest of that, we could go do it.
Anything you got, man? I'm right here.
Okay. Is it true that I read this, that your mother was a Pulitzer Prize winning photojournalist and has won an Emmy as well?
No.
Okay. I was
Uh,
like,
yeah. Well, stay off the internet. Woo!
yeah. Now, I mean, you
Yeah.
try
My mother worked in housing and urban development. Um, she worked with the union. She was the workers' union's rep for the government agency, and so she helped people basically for a living. That's what she did. She also got her doctorate while raising us, and she did her thesis on on um on government housing, which
wow.
is really, really interesting, by the
Yep.
way. Huge
Yeah.
volume, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot involved in that, especially, in that at that time, things were a little bit different. Uh,
Yes.
so a lot of politics involved, and brilliant lady. You honor her greatly in the autobiography. I get a chill at the end of it. You when you It's just, people get the autobiography. And I got the Audible version, which you read yourself. um
I do. Yeah.
oh it's just it
Yeah.
just
Thank you, man. No, go ahead, finish. I was getting you had a cliffhanger there. What did you get from that last part? I want to hear it.
it's such an appreciation for your mother, which as I'm reading it and I know your story, I think to myself, we wouldn't have, I wouldn't laugh as much if it wasn't for that beautiful woman. And you wouldn't put as much love into the world as you do. We wouldn't learn from your black white experience as much as we do. Um, it changed the world what she
Mhm.
did,
Mhm.
not only with you but what she was as a person.
Mhm.
And
That wasn't potato chips, but go ahead.
um, at the end, you say that is your proudest accomplishment is being her son.
Son.
And that just sent a chill through me. It is so fitting to end like that and to hear that appreciation. God bless you for that. It's just really wonderful, wonderful stuff.
It's seeped in. It's seeped into my present. My gift is the now. You know, and that's why when I did Kid Zero, right, and I did the cover,
Hmm.
Kid Kid Zero was influenced by a song that was written by Harvey Mason and Foreplay, but the title itself triggered something for me. It triggered, a question. What's Kid Zero and who is Kid Zero?
Right,
Well, first of all, Kid Zero is all of us because we can't come from something and be nothing. That's just scientific,
right.
you know. Although, when we start counting and using numbers, which go to infinity, the number one actually looks like it comes from nothing, but you couldn't start it without it. So we don't ask ourselves questions like what came first, the chicken or the egg. We just marvel. So what happened for me when I heard that title was, wait a second, I'm Kid Zero, you're Kid Zero, America and the world is Kid Zero, but America specifically. All right. This cover is a picture of John Brown, the abolitionist.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the day that he was taken out of court to be hung for treason. He took it upon himself with friends of his from Kansas and Missouri, which were new states that didn't want slavery, and some slaves, and they got guns and went all the way down to Harper's Ferry, Virginia. That's a long walk,
It is.
and because it was a weapons depot, so that they can reinforce this militia to go on and change the change America. Well, he was hung. But what was interesting about the painting is that when you look, and I circled it,
Hmm.
this woman, this African slave woman, comes over to him and has her child kiss him on the cheek.
Yep.
What you can't see in the picture is the rest of the children that are around her, and they're all white and black. They all were over there to do that. All right. So now, really quickly, that's me, Kid Zero. That's my mom. John Brown is my mom.
Right.
John Brown represents white America or Europeans that have nothing in their heart, right? But love for others. It actually exists. It actually exists. So we start at the ground level with Kid Zero because it's never been communicated like that. You see? So here we are. It's Kid Zero, and we're at ground zero because what happened? The whole world came to an end just recently. This is a start over. Okay. So we're starting from the very beginning. So I'm here to communicate to the country that I'm in and to the world that the racism is real, but its effects on white and black America have been misconstrued.
Yeah.
The effects of that are the events that set in motion who we are now, and that involves everyone to do it. Whether you're on or Omaha Beach, or you were a slave in a plantation in Haiti, or you were, an Irish family starving because of the potato famine, or you're a group of Chinese that are working on the railroad because that's all they have, or you're white family in the Midwest who got their houses taken from them from the government, and then the Dust Bowl came, and then blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's our story. So I have an opportunity through my gift to share some truths, and them being conveyed through music makes it special. The ink is black, the page is white. Together we learn to read and write. How about this one? That's the way of the world, right? You see, so that's what happens. We are a product of our own environment. It's just that the perception of our environment gets tainted.
Yeah.
It's not tainted by all the colors. It's tainted by green.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Hey, well, what's that? My name makes the world go round, the world go round. That's from what is that? Cabaret. So me being raised, it was Jesus Christ Superstar. It was Oliver. It was Mary Poppins. It was, I'm a quilt. I'm a quilt of Lucy and Desi and Bing Crosby and the Hogan's Heroes and Sanford and Son and all the things that we all know very well.
Yeah.
So this is my arrival. So I am Kid Zero, and let's start over.
It's just awesome. And we need a restart. We need a reboot. And we need to connect with ourselves. And that core, that love that you talk about, the book. We all have that at our core. When we need to share that. That's
yeah. It's right on the tip of our tongue. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Right?
Absolutely.
It's all there.
Yeah.
It's already been here.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. You start your stand-up around 84. Your career there, and it leads to In Living Color, right?
I guess it was. Whoa. All right, go ahead. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm
right around that time.
60, yeah.
You looked pretty much the same as you do now, except that those few gray hairs there. But it brought you to In Living Color, and things started to wonderfully change there, of course. But it also led you to being an opening act for people like Patti LaBelle, Kenny G, Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider, now you're a musician, you are, exploring that part of your career a little more. At that time, back in that day, when you got those opening gigs for those legendary artists, did you ever consider a music career at that time?
It was already considered. I always wanted to do it. That's the thing that I wanted to do the most with my life. I was a protege singer as a kid. So here I was, this 6-year-old, 7-year-old, and grown men were knocking on my mother's door going, can he be a lead singer for our band? Like I was that good. When I was 4, she used to place me on the coffee table with all the black friends in like 60, it had to be about 68 or 69. She put tinfoil around the spoon and just let me sing Mustang Sally and say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, and all the stuff that was out then. And from there I just would download it with all the beautiful things around me musically. And because I was exposed to all these different pockets, because I was raised partly in a commune, my mother also worked at a juvenile, a Chicano juvenile home. It's just all of the things that came into my influence, my sphere. It's why I can speak openly about racism. It's just an ism.
Yeah.
It's not a wasm, and that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've seen so much of so many different things on both sides. On many sides. And that's just such a valuable thing in our world, because so many people, are living in their own pocket, and they don't know what the other half lives like, and they don't want to know, and they don't like them because of it. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have you in this world. Somebody,
Thank you. Thank you. And you as well, because, you know, children that grew up in our era actually got lucky because embracing other cultures was in style. Taking care of the environment was in style. Peace was in style. You were cool if you were peaceful. You were cool if you weren't racist. That was the cool thing.
right,
So Leslie, we had Marlo Thomas, Free to Be You and Me, Multiplication Rock, Sesame Street. We had we even the product that was sold there, sold from the standpoint of peace and love. That's the way it is. Coca-Cola. I like to give a world of Coke and it's perfect harmony. So it's like it was not only a commercial part, but it was a real part. Those kids were coming home from Vietnam.
right.
Thanks to Helen Redding, there's music again. I am woman, hear me roar. So this thing it was like this
Yeah,
tidal wave of a change that took place that was triggered at ground zero.
yeah, yeah.
Am
It's
I wrong?
awesome. No, not at all. Not at all. I was there. Yeah, I remember that, and that's all truth. It is different. It was
What we
different.
need,
It
you
is.
know, yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in my life that I can see in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
See, now it's gone from the bathroom stall to the palm of my hand. Anyone can write anything they want in the bathroom stall, and everybody gets to read it. This thing has moved into our palm of our hand.
Yeah.
So are you going to believe everything that you read on the bathroom stall? No. So why should you if it's in the palm of your hand?
Yeah. So that's
Mhm. I'm just here to start making some points.
yeah. No, and that is we need that. We do. We
I'm here.
really do. Um, I see these musicians that you have on these records. Kid Zero, Julian Vaughn is just he is just something else.
Something else, ain't man?
Wow. We're talking about a bass player here that is in the upper echelon. He is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
notch.
and because and mostly because Julian, like other artists in smooth jazz, and which is one of the reasons why I started my music career in this particular genre, is because a lot of the talent identifies with me, and also from the same type of rudimentary tree. Uh, Julian Vaughn isn't there because he's just like this great guy or whatever. He's standing on the shoulders of some people that he acknowledges and knows and has played behind, not behind, but has been influenced by Jaco Pastorius, Nathan East,
Yeah.
Stanley Clark, Abraham Laboriam. I mean, it's just, it just goes on and on with that. And Chieli Minucci. I mean, you can go on and on about him all the way back to Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
When blacks were putting a guitar on their back and going and walking across this country just to eat.
Yeah.
That's in Chieli's hands.
Mm,
You know,
it
so,
is.
like I'm telling you, I have a I have a really good opportunity to communicate more in the music industry than I could in comedy because of the nature of what it is.
Yeah. 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 Because you have to continue to be funny. Uh,
Right.
you
Mhm.
So there's a you have to devote something to that part of it.
Yeah, and it's an even split, really.
Yeah,
The hydrogen and oxygen, if it wasn't just right, hey, right?
right.
So um, comedy's for the head, music's for the heart.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great
You
way to
know,
put it.
period. There's no way around it.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely, absolutely. When you get these songs, I'm thinking Sweet Reunion, um, Dave Koz, incredible, Richard Elliott on I Know. These guys. I mean,
Killed it.
it's incredible that to surround yourself with this talent is wow. These are masterpieces. They really, really, really are. Um, Tell me how it all comes together for you. Do you go to those guys and say, "Hey, I want to do this," or do they have music written for you that you put yourself into? How's the collaboration work on these?
It actually happened like the Wizard of Oz. The little chick wanted to go home. You know, um, and the little dudes were like, "Follow this yellow brick road. Follow the 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 yellow." And so it was like that kind of deal, because as I went down, it was like running into the Tin Man, or into the Scarecrow, running into the Lion. It's on my way on the journey is what started it. For Richard Elliott, it was just hearing him.
Ugh, man.
He's got some songs that are like locked into my whole. They help me get through things and everything. You know, Dave Koz the same way, conveying feelings through conveying their inspirations and their accomplishments and their letdowns all through that instrument.
It's amazing.
And like I said, they're part of the same rudimental tree, because for Bird and for all of those, they brought to bear, or Louis Armstrong, they all brought to bear their feelings and emotions through the instrument.
Mm,
So in that, it's the same. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It
totally.
just everything is groovy for me. So it's happening as I go, and having mentors in music, people who just loved me and loved my creativity, just loved the friendship bestowed on me. Their gifts of truths and stuff that they learned that's tried and true. George Duke,
Ah,
Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder, Lou Rawls, Al Jarreau, George Clinton, Carlos Santana, people that really know me and know what they're doing,
yeah.
you know. And so just by being in, by proxy, but it happened a long time ago, because to keep me out of the streets, my brother bought albums and I didn't know what he was doing. But all I know is that I had everything at my, everything from Kansas's album to Chic.
Mm, that is
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Back. Save your heavy, lay your weary head to rest. But don't you cry no more.
yes,
Huh?
yes,
You
man.
see what I mean?
Oh, and that's how I came up, you know,
Mhm.
with all of this, and it's so rich, like you say, it feeds the heart, it feeds the soul, and there's so much. George Clinton, you mentioned, Parliament Funkadelic, my one of my all-time favorites, one of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
Mhm.
just just brought
Yeah.
a culture to me, brought another world to me, and
Mhm.
opened doors, spiritually
Say
almost.
it loud.
It just yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Say it loud.
James Brown the same way. I got to live in that world for the time that record was spinning. And I didn't want to leave so many times. It's just I could go to those worlds and enjoy myself. So when I walked out my door, and saw those worlds, I felt comfortable in them.
Yeah.
And it's the magic of the music.
Yes. It shapes us. And I've got really, really fortunate that when I finally made the decision to go into music, I was ready. I had to be really, 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 really patient. Okay. And this business is like war. Without the intelligence, ain't nobody winning nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did a lot of recognizance.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really thought about the business as well as the creative.
You have to, yeah.
And I stepped out on what was easiest for me, which was to go on what I hear,
Mm.
on what I hear, you know.
It's wonderful to have you as a musician.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so awesome. Um, you mentioned in the autobiography, Living in Color, What's Funny About Me. You talk about doing strictly business with Halle Berry. Uh, you had a kid for assigned to you for a PA. He's done pretty well for himself.
So does that actress for her first job too, boy.
Unbelievable. But you called him Puffy. He looked like the Cocoa Puffs bird.
Yeah.
His name, Sean Combs. Of course, P. Diddy. He's taken many roles over the years.
Kind of made some of herself, but go ahead.
He is something else. Did you ever consider involving Puffy when you just finally decided to go into music? Did you give him a call? Did you tell him, "Hey, I'm doing this," and maybe make a record with him or something like that?
Yeah, it's a hopeless task to catch up to him, but I would have if I seen him. But it'll come to pass. It'll come to pass because I was there on his ascension.
Yeah.
I was there. I knew what was going to happen. He gave me advice early out when we were doing the movie. He said, "I want you to cut your widow's peak." And I was like, "I'm not cutting my widow's peak, man, for this little boy, man. Get out of here." He said, "Yeah, but when you get on screen, it's going to look really big." And I was like, "Who cares? Whatever." And I looked on the screen and it looked like, Mount St. Helen was in the middle of I was like, Eddie Munster on steroids, man. It's like what the hell? It was like Count Chocula on a galactic level, you know what I mean? So I was like, this kid is really smart, and we go out in the clubs. He's the one who exposed me to all the rappers that are now platinum. They were they weren't even signed with labels. And I was going, this guy knows what he's doing. And it was what solidified it for me was seeing this. There's a song called "Flavor in Your Ear" done by Craig Mack, and he did a remix of that with Boy Scout, Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J. Please don't get mad at me if I miss someone that was in that. And it was unbelievable. And Puffy's just going, that's right, And I'm going, he's getting ready to have his own world. And he went from there.
Yeah.
So, and I was able to help him. He had struck one of the union guys who tried to bully him. And it wasn't, I don't think I know for a fact he didn't do it on purpose. It was a self-defense reflex. If you got a guy 6'8", hold on, and Italian, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And he goes, "Get out!" You're gonna do something. You got to try something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I ended up helping him with that situation.
Yeah.
And he never forgot it.
It's great, man.
It's just one of those things, and I've watched him over the years. A lot there to be desired.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the answer to that question is I've been lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Samuel Jackson in that movie too.
What?
Samuel Jackson was in Strictly Business as well.
Favorite.
You're talking about Ground Zero. Yeah.
Man, oh man, he's changed too with what he does. It's
smell like Newport cigarettes and white cheddar cheese. Long story, but go ahead.
I love it, man. Yeah. Oh man. We're talking about this music. I see three singles out there. We got more, right?
We
We're
got
gonna
more coming. Great stuff.
let's go.
And until an album coming right around the corner. I'm collaborating with a lot of beautiful people, Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Nicks, and so it's you know it's happening.
It's great. Uh, you got your affordable men's fashion line, tongue in cheek. We will have a link down below. Make sure you click on that.
Yeah, tongue in cheek. Click on shop tongue in cheek,
Yep.
and it will all come up. Especially women for the holiday. The consumer who buys the most ties and the most pocket squares and the most men's clothes are women. So we did that in mind.
Right.
My wife and stuff, and also we did it with her in mind and every woman in mind at a price. So everything is from 10 to $20.
That's insane. I mean,
You know
that's
what I mean? So, and if you look at the stuff, you go, whoa,
yeah,
really?
man. I mean, I can sort of maybe I don't want to say look like Tommy Davidson because that's not possible. That'd be very, very difficult.
Right.
If
I mean,
I was black, that'd be difficult.
put it this way: it's as cheap as the state of Louisiana was for Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, go. Maybe not, but it's pretty cheap.
Right. Let me see. How many? What was it? 800,000 acres. Yeah.
But uh,
I
it,
think
it,
they gave I think they gave him an offer that they couldn't refuse. All
yeah,
right, so
yeah. I love it. I love it. I got to tell you, one of my favorite things about the book, you talk about Keenan, the good and the not so good. You talk about Jamie Foxx, the good and the not so good, but it was done in such a class way. You reiterate many times throughout the book, you wouldn't be where you were if it wasn't for Keenan, and you love him, and he loves you. It's those things that is what makes it so special that you can talk about somebody that a bad time possibly, but no disrespect whatsoever. It's just your truth.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
and one of the things that I wanted to show in the book, or one of the things that I wanted for the reader, was for the reader to realize that you can go through negative experiences with people and still have a genuine love for them,
Mhm. Yeah,
and still have a genuine respect for them, and still have a reservation, right, for the future to allow both parties to come into balance.
yeah,
The
yeah,
book is actually designed for the reader to have an easier path through the obstacle of life, because I took the stuff that helped me and
yeah,
just put it in there like an index book.
yeah.
So if you had a problem, with a supervisor at a restaurant, I got that. If you had a problem with math when you were a kid, I got that. I have a problem at a TV show with the cast member, I got that. It's not specific.
Right.
It's it, it's all about obstacles that I was able to not overcome, to
Yeah,
transcend.
yeah,
Okay, and I think that was not think that was really important for me to lay that out in a format that people could actually have to themselves because that's what happened to me when I was freely given love and freely given information and freely, hey, a lot of times it was telling me the truth when I didn't want to hear it,
Right.
or things that happened that were obviously unfair.
Yeah.
I stand at the bus stop in February, cold as a son of a, you don't know what, man. And the bus driver looked at me and drove by every day. And I had to walk to work. I almost lost my job over that.
Yeah.
But what it left in me was now I know I never want to put myself in a position where someone else can control my destiny. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah. And it's been very, very useful for you. It's
I like that. Thanks.
pretty great. It's pretty great. You also talk about the meanness of comedy, really. And it brings me back to George Carlin and Richard Pryor, and they were not nice a lot of times. There was always been that line in comedy where and Gilbert Gottfried is a good example of that guy who doesn't see a line. He just you know
Right.
but for most comics, there is a line somewhere that is, now that line has changed over, more recently. And, of course, we have the Chris and Will situation and
Mhm.
all that. That brought that to light. Tell me, you see, and those are dear friends of yours, Chris Rock, Will Smith, and, that situation. Has something like that made you re-examine your comedy to where are you a little more cautious than you might have been 20 years ago?
For me, no, because uh my I'm gonna say coincidentally, my comedy wasn't coming from the recent core of comedy that was taking place.
Okay.
And when I say that, what has happened over the last, and this is me, this is subjective. Um, Over the last, I'd say probably about 15 good solid years, the reaction to comedy, the reaction to jokes, or the reaction that you seek started being uh not a laugh.
Yeah.
It would be preceded by ooh,
Right.
really? Or it would be preceded by words or thoughts like, that's hilarious, you know. Ooh, ouch.
Hmm.
And so that was sought after. The ooh, and the ah, and the word, that was funny. Because when something's really funny, it's associated with joy. So it is just as much as a reflex as if somebody had a knife and came at you, you would react right away. When you say a joke and you convey comedy into the brain of a person in the ear and it goes into their receptors, in their machine, the answer, the real reaction is not ooh. The real reaction is that's the reaction.
Right, right.
And oh, that's funny. Oh no, no, there's no hiding it. It's instant joy. And my mom helped me understand that because I felt like I was like some creature from another planet because when I was young, any of yeah, I mean, I'd be at Thanksgiving with the whole family and I'd say something, and everybody would laugh. And I was like, geez, sucks. I was serious. And I finally went to my mom and I said, what's wrong with me? It's like everybody laughs at me. And she said, no, no, baby, I don't want you to think that. you have a way of putting things, Tommy, that makes people happy so fast that the only thing they can do is laugh.
So
It made me like, all right,
that,
like, okay,
really, and that had to make you feel so special
yeah,
at that age. And
okay,
that's
yeah,
parent. That is being in touch with the person that you're sitting with, and to
yeah,
say that and make you feel more confident when you were wondering about yourself.
right. I'm a part of.
Just so sweet, so
I'm
sweet.
not. I'm not outside of you know one of the I think one of the most tragic misconceptions of Africans and African Americans worldwide is that for some reason we're outside of humanity,
Oh,
and we're not. We are part of it, and I'm not talking about you know I'm not talking about personal opinions or any of that stuff. I'm talking about the way that the history
hmm
of Africans
yeah,
has been I want to put this right, has been not fully revealed.
yeah,
So that balance is a little bit off.
yeah, and
You know
that
what I
is
mean? Yeah,
unfortunate.
so so when I'm coming from that standpoint, my mom said it straight. She said, "Hey, you're not," she could have, if she could have just worded that, honey, you're not outside of humanity, you're a part of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's perfect. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
that goes for the Persian in New Jersey, or the East Indian that's mopping floors in Argentina. I mean, it just goes for all of us.
Right, right. But
You know?
that changes lives. That changes the world. Uh,
Mhm.
that you remember that changed your life.
Yeah,
That all interaction
yeah,
was those small words were
yeah,
huge. That
yeah.
uh,
But it's like driving a car, but there also is rules.
right,
That there also is there's a system of rules that are there. You know, one of them is why make someone laugh if it's at their emotional expense. Um, um, uh, uh, that natural thing that was pointed out to me doesn't work when the teacher's trying to tell the class something.
right,
You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean? So it's governed by rules too.
right, right. Yeah. You spent a lot of time in the principal's office, didn't
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, and it was a great shot too. You know, it was I was fast. You got gum for everyone in the class, Tommy, and I go, yes, I got a plenty pack by Juicy Fruit, and I'm gone out of there. You know what I mean? It's like my timing was too good. You know,
you? Stand up started way before 84.
right? Exactly.
Now I know you know your way around the kitchen. What's your favorite dish?
Uh, hmm, I would probably say palomillo, Cuban palomillo.
Ooh.
Steak that I make with onions, and I kind of, and that comes with black beans and white rice.
Hmm.
It's seasoned like to the T. That's
Awesome.
one of them. That's one of them.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We'll we'll start with that.
Well, I'm trying to inspire the cooking show, I mean, it's the only thing you haven't done yet, right?
Yeah. And who knows? Who knows? All I know is that I'm not a chef, officially, but I've been around food and cooks long enough to
Right.
be able to feed a family.
Yeah, well, and you know your way around the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah. And if given the right kitchen, feed hundreds,
Hmm, awesome.
hundreds. I worked at the Navy Medical Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland, and
Hmm,
I served, 300 people every morning. from the egg grill, and I was taught by a guy named Eddie, who nobody liked in the kitchen, but he loved me.
So you look at that. It
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
says, doesn't it?
All comes down to it, right?
No doubt. No doubt. Uh, you get a call. We're gonna wrap up here. You get a call. Who do you want on the other? Who would you most want on the other end of that call?
Who would I want?
Your phone rings when we're done, and you pick it up. Who would you most want on the other end of that call?
Probably Frantz Fanon.
One more time.
Fanon.
I have to ask who.
Frantz Fanon was one of the foremost influential and successful psychologists of the 20th century. He was from Martinique, from the Caribbean.
Okay.
And he did exposés and theses of Freud's work. Him and Carl Jung worked together.
Wow.
And he had his philosophy. He also was the head clinician at Blythe, which is the biggest mental institution in France. And he also did the same thing in Algeria. He helped overthrow the Algerian government.
Wow.
He actually, his biggest students of his concept, of his work are Fidel Castro, Malcolm X, and who's the third one? Malcolm X. Oh, Nelson Mandela. So those are prize students. He's got a private library in Harvard's library.
Wow.
And so he's the person that came up with what's called open air therapy for mental patients. He felt like if they have contact with the outside world,
mm-hmm.
at minimum, things would be clear for them to start from there. Because mental hospitals were ran for the hundreds of years like jails.
Right.
Lock them up and give them whatever they need for now until they're gone out of here.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk to him.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, he died at 38 in a hotel room across the street from Bethesda Naval Hospital. Okay. With the CIA in front of his hotel room.
No way. 38 too. Oh man. And this
I like to rap to that dude.
This is a this is a perfect example though. Why do we not all know who this is?
Right.
We need to. This is an important part of our humanity as as and not of color or anything else. It's a part of that love
part of humanity.
Yeah.
It's I've come up with my own term because we have to move outside of race, because race is just what it is. It's just a people's race towards resources. So water, oil, energy, whatever that is,
Right.
Healthcare, education, and who's going to win, right? So if we can change that connotation to mankind, that's just man being kind.
It's so simple. I mean, it really is so simple, but man, we have trouble with it, don't we?
Yeah, but someone else is in charge, because it sure didn't help us when the pandemic came along.
No, yeah, this is so
all
true.
Of a sudden all of a sudden it was mankind.
Yeah.
When it was over, we went right back to it.
Yeah.
And start your engines. And hate.
Right.
Go.
we laugh. It's not funny.
Right. We gotta laugh. We gotta laugh. Yeah.
We'll wrap up. I know you got a busy day. I love you, Tommy.
Thank you. I just thank you for just the questions. The answers are always in the right questions.
This is the time of my life. It absolutely is. I see tour dates for you.
Time of my life, and I never felt this way before. And it's true, and oh, I'll do you, yeah. Anyway, go
You'll
ahead.
have to dance to that someday, man.
Right,
That'll be comedy in itself, right there.
right, right.
I see tour dates for you. You're in my neck of the woods at the end of December.
Oh, you coming? You coming? I'll see you there. Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can I expect you to sing? Can I expect some music?
A little bit of that. Depends on is it a concert with Cat Williams?
I don't think so.
Okay, but usually I do get some singing in there.
Okay. It is at Chicago Improv.
Oh yeah, you'll get some music.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite improvs anyway. Get ready, Schaumburg in Chicago. I'm
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I cannot wait, man. Tommy, love you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Oh, you grew up with Bozo's Bucket Bonanza.
Yeah, yeah, the grand prize game. Wow. You're Chicago, a little
Yeah,
Chicago kid?
I know that. No, because one of the biggest things that ever happened to me was I got to go to Bozo's studio.
Oh, awesome.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I can't believe it. The biggest thing that happened to me, I drove the Goodyear blimp over the stadium during the Super Bowl.
No way.
Right. And I saw that I got to drive the Oscar Mayer Wiener wagon.
Oh,
And I got to go to Bozo's studio and see the Bozo Bucket Bonanza.
that is just
How
crazy.
can I do better than that, baby?
No doubt. No doubt. Holy cow. That is just, I mean,
Yes.
those
Yes.
are,
Come on, man. You can't. Come on, man. Come on. Is that living?
it is. It is. Man, I am so happy for you. I love you to death. I will see you in December in Schaumburg. Can't wait, man.
Got it. And
Uh,
stay on the line because I want to have this interview for me.
okay,
I want this. Can you send it to me?
I can, sure. Yeah, I got a file and everything. I'll have a file and then I'll send it to Jody.
Okay, got it. Got it. Send it to Jody. I want this because I'm
All
gonna spread it. It was a
right.
great interview. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. It's just like I say, one of I've been doing this for 23 years. I can't say that I've ever had a better time. Um, you know,
Yeah.
this is, 600, 700 in, but not this special, man. Really, really special. I love having you in the world, man. Seriously.
Time won't give me time. 'Cause I make lovers feel there ain't nothing real. Well, you and me ain't got nothing but time.
Here we go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bring me up and
Time won't give me time.
I love it, man.
Have a good one, man. Thank you.
You too. Thank you so
Stay
much.
in touch, bro.
What was that?
Stay in touch, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Every time you see one of my songs come out, let's do it again.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. I look forward to it, man. Love you, buddy. See ya.